Man, wasn't that a good song from our worship team? I always love to hear them sing and lead us in song. It's such a joy to have so many great and talented musicians at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church and singers, and I'm so glad that God has blessed us with that. All right, if you've got your prayer list, it should have been emailed out to you earlier today. If not, you can get it right below this video. There'll be a little box down there that you can get the prayer concerns off of, and then we will run them on the screen in a minute when I do our individual prayer before our corporate prayer. But let's just run through our prayer request here for a minute, and then we will go for a time of individual prayer, and then I'll come back and close us out in corporate prayer. Please be in prayer for Charlie Brown. Charlie had a bout of vertigo last Friday that sent him tumbling down that hill in front of his house in his yard. There was a car riding by that kind of saw him in the yard and stopped to help. He broke several ribs, and it's just going to take time to heal and recover. So please pray for Charlie as he recovers from those broken ribs. Scarlett Dew is in Hiawassee now doing therapy on her broken hip. Looks like she may be there for 2 or 3 more weeks. So please continue to pray for Scarlett as she recovers from that injury. Gary Strickland, Rex Strickland's brother, is in the VA hospital in Asheville with an infection following gallbladder surgery. The doctors have been able to remove the ventilator and sedation, lower his oxygen level to a minimal. So that's a really good thing and a praise report, and they're hoping to get into a step-down unit soon. So please continue to pray for Gary. Shirley West visited her lung doctor in Gainesville last week and was told she's got no pulmonary fibrosis. That is a huge, huge blessing. Her lung function has gone down some, and the doctor was asking her if she was singing, believe it or not, because the singing, I guess filling up the lungs with air and singing out helps her lung function. So he asked her if she'd been singing, and she said, not really. And I said, come on, Shirley, sing around the house. So she's taking some shots to help, but just continue to pray for her. May Woodard is not really doing well. I talked to Vicki this week. May is in a position where she just wants to be left alone. She just wants to sleep. She's not eating well. She's drinking very little. So please pray for May Woodard. If you get a chance to send her a card, just send it over to Erlanger in Murphy. But please pray for her. Karen Griffin, a friend of Bobby and Shirley's, was in a bad auto accident and is suffering serious injuries. Please remember her. Devin Blackburn, the son of one of Mary Reichel's oldest friends, was in a severe car accident in Franklin. He's a sophomore at Franklin High School. Early test results have started to come back good. He will be transferred to Levine Children's Hospital sometime this week for more help, so please continue to pray for him and his family. Isaiah Torales, the 15-year-old nephew of Mike and Nicole Knotts, is still recovering from being hit by a car. He does have a real serious hip issue that they're working with, so just pray for a speedy recovery. Also, Braylon Knotts, Mike and Nicole's infant granddaughter, is gaining weight, which is a good thing. She came back with Christian and Jen when they moved back to Hayesville last week, and she's had appointments on Wednesday in Chattanooga with a new specialist and some therapists, so just continue to pray for little Braylon. Johnny Birch is home from his stay in the hospital in Asheville, but he is struggling, so just please pray for Johnny and pray for wisdom for the doctors that are helping him, that they can find a way to get him back on his feet and doing what he loves to do. Mike Hinton, who's close friends with Kenny and Wilma West, came home from the hospital this week, so just continue to pray for his progress. Belinda Murray had another doctor's appointment today. I haven't got an answer or found out what's going on with it yet, so just continue to pray for Belinda. Adam Shepard, Belinda's grandson, is also in need of prayer, so please remember Adam. Mackenzie Graves, the daughter of Don Graves, is still having bad pain in her knee. They're hoping to get her in with her primary physician this week and maybe get an MRI on that knee to see if they can figure out exactly what's going on. Continue to pray for Bud and Ruth Jones. They need our prayers. Bud does for his health, and Ruth is seeking wisdom and direction regarding Bud's condition. So just please continue to pray for Bud and Ruth. Brenda Varnado, the daughter-in-law of Harvey and Skeet, she's got cancer. She started her chemo treatments. I think she's had 2 of them, and she's done well. And they just found out that starting in July, she'll be going through a 5-week radiation treatment where she'll have to go 5 days a week. So please just continue to pray for Brenda. And Mona Boutwell, the friend of Skeet and Joy's, doing better after cracking her pelvis and pulling muscles and ligaments. In fact, they think she should be out walking with Skeet and Joy next week as they go walking on the dam over at Chatooz Lake. So continue to pray for them. Her. Peter Grashevsky, the brother of Mike, has been diagnosed with cancer. He's in the midst of his treatments, dealing with bad pain spells. So please pray for him and his wife, Sherry. Dorothy Rogers, Belinda Murray's mother, is dealing with a severe skin irritation. Please continue to pray for healing. Leslie Rickson, the mother of TJ in our student ministry, has moved to Fillmore, New York to be with family. Please pray for her healing and also for her salvation. TJ's not sure if she's saved. Byron Butler, Deanna's grandfather, is still having issues with his heart stents. One collapsed, and because of his age, surgery may not be an option to help. So he is at home now, getting around, and they are using medication to try and help his heart condition. Please continue to pray for Brent Conaway, who has colon cancer. He's the brother-in-law of Brooke, Rex and Lisa's Strickland's daughter. He's feeling better and getting stronger, and he's trying to decide about pursuing an alternative, unconventional treatment program. So just pray that he gets wisdom and knowledge about that treatment. Please continue to pray for Lieutenant Colonel David Atkinson, the grandson of Bud Holcomb. He returned from heading up that mental health operation in Connecticut, and he is now in quarantine for 2 weeks before he can get back out in the community. Continue to pray for Chad Clemens in his journey with Moya Moya, and Heather as she recovers from her recent surgery at Union General. Also, continue to pray for Lucille Sewell, Donald and Nell Woodard, Kenneth Woodard at Bridge the Gap, and Emma Jean Barrett at the Clay County Care Center. They all continually need our prayers and our thoughts. Remember our college students, Allison Birch, Emma Birch, and Andrew Birch, Devin Goebel, Gracie Birch, Emily Birch, and Kalea White. Remember our family and friends working with COVID-19. There's Bobby and Shirley West's daughter, Jenny, and son-in-law, Paul, who's a radiology tech. Dr. Jonathan Patterson, Janice Patterson Boone's son. He's a healthcare worker in Charlotte. Nita Hastings' daughter is a nurse practitioner. Abby Parton, Easton's mother, works with COVID patients. Melanie Alford, Michelle's sister, is a nurse in Rocky Mount. And Emily Alford, my and Michelle's niece, is working at a nursing home in Rocky Mount. Also, Stephen Harper, who's like our second son, is an ER nurse in Charlotte, so continue to pray for them. Please continue to pray for your church leadership team as we try and continue to look at the COVID landscape and what's going on, because we all want to be back in church. We want to open the doors up, but we want to do it the right way, the safe way, and the healthy way for you guys and for us. And so we're just trying to pray through and ask God to show us the right way and the right time. So please pray for us. Also, remember the following families who in this difficult time are dealing with the loss of a loved one. Andy Hill Crook and family, that's Joey and Cindy Hill's daughter. Janice Rigby's family, Orabelle Stewart's family, Gail Bruce's family, Jan Martin's family, Derek Rose's family, he's a friend of Bob and Shirley Epperson, the Larry Sowell family, a friend of Don Graves, and the Denny Cobb family, who is a childhood friend of Shirley West. Also, remember Tim Thompson. He is a friend of Chuck and Rhea Flory. Tim lost his mother and his aunt in the span of about 2 weeks. So please, please continue to pray for Tim. All right, there's your prayer list for this evening. We're going to give you a chance to go to the Lord in individual prayer, and we're going to give you a few minutes to do that, and we'll have some music playing and the prayer list up on the screen. And we just hope that you will have some time in personal prayer. And when we come back after the music, I will close this out in corporate prayer, and then we will get to our Bible study. So we're going to give you time to pray. Let's go to the Lord in prayer.